When it comes to being incarcerated, the longer you run around like a chicken with his head cut off, not knowing where everything is and who's what organization, what gang, and where the routes are and where everything on the compound is, the longer and longer you seem more vulnerable. Straight up. If you're watching this, you already know why you're here. What's up, everybody? You already know, man. Kfrogtv back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel. I want to tell everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Inmate Dictionary. Today we're going to be speaking on letter T. Take the time to learn the compound. Now this right here is a very, very important one when it comes to this Inmate Dictionary. And I'm going to break it down to y'all in the best of my knowledge so that way y'all can see what it is I'm trying to get at. Now, when you go to somewhere, when you get locked up, no matter who you are, where you're at, you know, you're at a place. Literally. You're not from that jail. You're not from that prison. You understand? It may be the county you're from. It might even be in the same city where you're from. But you aren't strictly from there. That isn't your street. That isn't your house. That isn't your block. That isn't your set. That isn't your clique. None of that. You understand? So the easiest way to, you know, make your time not as hard and difficult is to learn the compound. All right. Now, I'm going to give you a little hint, an example of what I mean. Say you go to an institution and you've been there for a while. So you're a hustler. You feel me? You've been getting money on this compound for a couple years. You get transferred to another camp. Yeah. 10 out of 10 times when you go to another camp, there's going to be hustling going on just like you were doing at your last camp. But I've seen a lot of people get themselves flipped. For those that don't know what flip means, wet up, taken off the compound, for coming to a new institution and trying to open up shop and hustle the same way that they hustled at their last camp. Now, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not saying that, oh man, there's no way you're going to hustle here and go somewhere else and hustle there. That isn't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you got to learn the compound first. You have to learn who's hustling what. Who's part of what gang. Where are all the routes of getting shit in and out of prison? Where's everything at on the compound? If you need something and it's on that side of the compound, you got to know about it. If you need something that's on the other side of the compound, you got to know about it. You understand? The more and more you learn about the compound, the less you're going to stay out of harm's way. Because it's common sense. If you move into a dorm, and let's for instance say you're a tattoo man. The last camp you were at, you Slang Ink. You were slanging ink at your last compound. You know, you're a good tattoo man. Well, you get put in a dorm, and when you get put in that dorm, there's 5 tattoo men already in there. Right? You know how much harder it's going to be for you to hustle in that dorm? You're going to have ones that probably ain't with it, that are going to, you know, feel some type of way. They're going to feel like you're trying to steal their business. You know, they're going to be like, ain't no way in hell you're finna run ink in here too. You feel me? We already have tattoo men. I've never been in a dorm where there was 5 tattoo men. I've seen 2 tops. Never been in a dorm where there was 3, 4, or 5 tattoo men slanging ink. I've only seen 2 tattoo men in the same dorm. My whole bid. And there's a reason for that. It's minimized because when more people are doing it, more people are hustling, it's like instead of 1 or 2 people making good money, you got 5 people slanging ink in that dorm alone. There ain't no money behind that shit. It's more time put in than it is actually, you know, the reward. Because if you say $25, the other dude's going to say 20. And then when he gets all ready and draws it all up to do it for 20, the other dude's going to say 15. And then that other guy's going to say, you know what the hell with it, I'll do 10 right now if you do it today. You feel me? So you got to like know the pound. You know what I'm saying? Take your time. Peep your surroundings and learn when you first get there. Now this is common sense what I'm saying. You feel me? Literally. You think about it. You go to a compound and there's someone that's already known for selling all the tobacco. You think they're just going to allow you to open up shop like that? I mean, you could get away with it, maybe if you're the only one in your dorm, you know, that's known to have tobacco. But after a while, if there's a drought or that person over there goes dry, they're going to either tell on you to get you up out of there, send a fucking kite on you, you know, dry snitch and low-key just rat, or they'll send a hit, have someone rob you. You feel me? Because they ain't got no product. You see what I'm saying? But the more you peep this, the more you know. So if you get put in a dorm and you're like, damn, I peep game. Everybody keeps going to the other side of the compound, to that dorm, and then over here to that dorm to get tattoos done, or to get bacco, or to get Tunchi, or, you know, because that's where the people that draw portraits live. Those are bright ideas for me to start doing in this dorm. They can't tell me what to do in my dorm. You feel me? Which they could low-key still hate, but word will travel, you know, that not only do they do that, you do that also. You'll make so much money if you were to just sit back and take the time to realize what is on the compound that there isn't an actual source for it in your exact dorm. Then that's when you decide, okay, I'm going to get into that line of work. Yeah, you're going to have competition. You always have competition. Good days, bad days always comes with competition regardless. You're going to have good competition and bad competition. But the more you take time to learn who has what, where everything is, the easier it'll be for you to get what you need. Get it in how you're getting it in. Sack it up, bag it up, or you know, draw it up or whatever it is, and distribute it and make your money. For real. You'll know off rip, if you pay attention and learn the compound, you're going to know who the threats are. And what I mean by threats is, I mean, like the officers that are, you know, are on that bullshit, you know, the ones that off rip, they live by the code and they just straight up are always on your trail. They're always trying to sniff something out and find something. Them officers that are trying to lock your ass up every single day. Same thing with the inmates. You'll know the threats. The ones that are the jack boys, the ones that are known to rob, the ones that are like just want to get high. You feel me? They walk around looking like zombies all day because they want to get their fix. You know, then you got the people that you know are gonna tell. You know, it's easier for you to, you know, to spread out and wheel and deal and make your plays when you know of everything that is going on. Even if it doesn't involve you. You feel me? Don't talk about it, but it don't hurt to know. You see? So when you go to a compound, I don't care if you did massive time at a whole nother compound. When you go to another compound, you feel me? You don't want to walk around and act the same way you act where you just left. Nah, you land on that new compound and you observe for a while. People are going to start coming and wanting to talk to you. People are going to come up, want to be friendly to you. People are going to start asking you questions. They're going to see if you can find this. They're going to peep your energy off rip. And the number one thing that people don't like in prison is someone that is 100% friendly. Believe it or not. You go in there just trying to be nice and everything and shit. People don't look at that like, oh, he's a good guy. No, they look at it like, how am I going to take advantage of him now? I want what he has. I could talk him out of it. Or he's so friendly, he'll give it up if I bust him upside the head one time and scare him. You feel me? Instead, you go there, you stay to yourself, and people are going to like that about you. People are going to like how you stay to yourself, how you handle your own. They don't know you. You just came from another institution. You was the plug over there. You feel me? Once it's in you, it's in you. It's like riding a bike. If you became a plug at that institution, you learn how to find all the routes. You learn how to get everything in. You learn how to, you know, wire the monies and do everything you had to do in order to keep it going, in order to build something from the ground up. You could do it again. You feel me? But it's all on how and when you try to do it again. See, that's where a lot of people mess up, is they'll get sent to another camp, and just because they're so plugged in, they want to try to open up shop right back up, just like they had it at their last camp. And then when you go there, now you're surrounded by a bunch of people who don't know you. A bunch of people who don't want to let you come up like that. A bunch of people who want what you have, that will try to take what you got, that will tell to get you shipped up out of there. Everything. They don't want to let you build nothing from the ground up. They want to knock it down before it's built. You was only able to do that at your last institution because you didn't think about it at the time, but it took you time to get up there. It took you time to get to that point to where you was a plug. And by then, you had a bunch of people that liked you. You knew majority of the people on the compound. You had a name. You feel me? It's totally different when you go to a new place and you try to just start off like that. You're going to find yourself in harm's way a lot more than you would if you would have just fall back and take the time to learn the compound. Straight up. Yeah, almost every camp has multiple things in common. It isn't like they're not going to have at your new camp what they had at your last camp. They just might not have as much. For instance, you might go to one camp and phones are up there, you know, and people don't really care for the Tunchi, which people want to know what Tunchi is. That's that spice, K2 shit, all right? But then you might go to another institution and phones ain't really, people don't care for that shit, but that Tunchi's booming, you know? And I've always been the type, no matter where I go, I get in the game of whatever makes the most money. Because in prison, every single day is dangerous. Even if nothing dangerous comes your way, even if you don't see anything dangerous go down, there's always something dangerous going down in prison, whether you're there, whether it happens. You know, everything's not meant for your eyes to see. So if I'm going to, you know, live in a danger environment every single day, if I'm going to take the risk to make it more dangerous for myself, I'm not going to go for the small money, the petty dollars. I'm not going to sit here and buy a couple cartons of cigarettes and have people holding them shits for me, and then me selling them and, you know, slow grinding and get rid of a couple every day. I'm not on that shit, bro. I'm trying to get that real money. I want that money to where, like, bitch, if I get hit up, if people try to run down on me, if a war starts, if anything, it's all worth it. Straight up. That's how I look at it. You know, I'm going to go for whatever's got the most value behind it. For real. Because here I sell one phone, make $600 to $650. Boom. You know how many cigarettes I got to sell to do that? Think about it. You know how much more? It's like I'm still in the hood. Like me growing up, it's like I'm on my block hustling. You know how many licks I had to bust and how many people you got to serve just to make money? I ain't on that. By the time you make your re-up money, you know, now you got a little bit to play with. Nah, hell no. Of course, you go for what you're going to make the most money out of and the less transactions. You see? And that's how I would do it, regardless of what institution I go to. But I didn't do it as soon as I got there. Even though when I got there, people already done heard about me from different camps. And the way I move and carry myself was totally different. I stood out. And the reason for that is because I didn't walk around like I was better than anybody. But I walked around to where I made it known I didn't need no friends. I wasn't looking for no friends. I am my team. You feel me? So I would always stick to myself. And no matter what, every time you see me, I didn't look lost. I had in my mind my goal, what I'm doing, where I'm, you know, so people observed that. Like, yeah, he just got to this camp, but he's walking around and, you know, like he's got a mission on his mind and he handles up. That's what made it to where people was like, all right, just like I'm falling back and observing everything that's going on in the compound, and I'm trying to see, you know, who does what, where everything comes from, if it's good, if it's bad, if they're skimping people, how much it goes for, the weight of it, you know, all that shit. As I'm observing that, the same people who are in all them different lines of work are observing me. I'm new. They're watching me. Just because it doesn't seem like they are, or nobody's talking to me or anything, it doesn't mean they're not watching me. Trust me. I know this from being more on the hustle side than me trying to figure out a hustle. You understand? I spent more time hustling in prison than I did trying to figure out how to hustle. And I've been to multiple camps. So if you fall back and take the time to learn everything on the compound, you'll be up and rolling and ready to go to do however you do your time. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to hustle, if you don't hustle, you know, it's still in your own good to fall back and to observe everything and learn everything on the compound. Because you want to know where the danger is. Everyone wants to know where the problems are, where the danger is, all the threats. You want to know. Even if you ain't planning on being in front of an officer 24/7, or you ain't planning on communicating with an officer and none of that, you want to know that officer's name. So when people are talking about it, when people are throwing names out there and shit, even if you're not in the conversation, you might just be sitting there in the day room, you know, vibing, watching TV or some shit. Or you might just be playing spades or dominoes and people are talking about it at the table. But you're going to be in the mix with your ears because you know who it is that they are referring to. Why? Because you done observed the compound. So you're going to learn after a while who is who does what, where to get what, and shit like that. You know, you want to hustle and you find out, oh, this person has that, this person has that, that person has that. Okay, well, after a while, you're going to find out from hearing people talk about it that this dude charges that much, he charges that much, he charges that much. So then you're like, damn, I could get my shit in, you know, for the low or for probably no price at all. And then if I just deduct a couple, you know what I'm saying, then bam, you know, I'll be making money as well. Or if you want to match their money, if you're like, okay, well, they're making $50 a gram of Tunchi, shit, all right, well, I charge $50 a gram also. They won't feel like you're really stepping on their toes until next thing you know, the moment they run out, they're not having as many people begging them for it to see if they got some more. No, in all reality, they're not doing that because they done came over there to you and now you're feeding them. Then that's when that other person's going to feel some type of way because they're used to people begging them and hitting them up 24/7 about stuff. You see what I'm saying? So just take your time. Time is what you got. That's what you received by going to prison. They gave you time. You take that time, man, to learn and observe everything on the compound, and I guarantee you, you will feel like you could just weasel all the way around all the bullshit, all the dead stops, all the problems, all the shit that's in the way, the props that are trying to be problems, that are trying to like ruin your day. You're going to know how to get around all that shit. Why? Because you didn't just jump in their head first thinking you had it all figured out from your last camp. See, a lot of people will feel like they learned it all when they're in prison. Go to another camp, they feel like they already know it all because they've already been down a couple years at another camp. Yeah, you know things, but every day you'll learn something new. Straight up. You go into a new camp, you know, everyone might walk to the left side of the compound when you're walking around. And the chapel might be way down there on that side of the compound. Now you go to another camp, everybody walks to the right. And the chapel's on this side of the compound. Yeah, there's going to be the same things there at every camp you go to. As far as dorms, you know what I'm saying? Tunchi, drugs, you know, different shit like that. Phones, tattooing, all that. Everything you see at one camp, you're going to see it at another camp. But it's better to sit back and observe the way the compound is ran. Every compound is ran different. Straight up. Some are ran by the guards and some are ran by inmates. Majority of the camps that I've been to in Florida were ran by inmates. That's what made them less, you know, like able for people to get along and harder for people to make money. You feel me? Because down here in Florida, the higher the level is, the more security, the more lockdown. You feel me? The more officers run the compound. They got gates. You feel me? That you'll walk at, you know, you'll get walked across the compound and they'll open that gate. Everyone walks in the gate. They close that gate and then they open the next gate. You go a lot of controlled movements. The higher the security level of the prison, the more officers there is. And that shit's ran by guards. The lower the prison is, the lower security hazard, the more dangerous it is because the less officers there are. There is no gates, you know, like in between all around the compound. There might be a gate to split both sides of the compound, but there isn't, you know, control movement officers escorting you. There isn't none of that shit. It's just wide open. And there's a lot more dangerous shit going on because it's ran by inmates. You feel me? But I'm telling you, remember, letter T of the inmate dictionary. Straight up. Take the time to learn the compound. I guarantee you it will help. And this ain't for people who, you know, been to another camp and might go to another one. You feel me? This is for people that just go to prison as well. Same thing in county jails. When you come in a quad, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what this shit's like. And just because you've been here 10 times, don't mean it's still the same way. Because I've told y'all before about me going to confinement for as little as 30 days. Little as 30 days, you get back out of the box and get put back on that compound. That whole compound done been turned and twisted. They done shipped so many people and had new people come that you might get put in the same dorm and you'll know a couple people that are still in there because the whole dorm ain't flipped. But a lot of people are gone. And people you remember sleeping on that bunk over there and that bunk up there, them same people might be gone. Now you get put in that same dorm, you look at some other person. So to you, it's like you're like deja vu because you're back in the same dorm, but now you're looking at different people, and now you're looking at it from a different angle because you was once on that bunk, but now you're over there on that bunk. You feel me? Telling you, you sit back and observe that shit, and 9 times out of 10, you're gonna learn a lot more. You'll be able to see where other people messed up, okay? That also. If people are trying to hustle and people are trying to wheel and deal and grind and they got caught, they got knocked off, they did this, you're going to learn the things not to do because you're going to know what the officers are already up on game about. If people were hiding shit inside their shampoo bottle, you're going to know, obviously, don't put it in the shampoo bottle because they just knocked off these dudes last week. You feel me? Or if they've been looking in the lights recently, you're going to know, don't hide no shit in the light up there. You feel me? They bring that little step ladder around, they unscrew that shit, and they look, and they find phones, all different shit. You're going to know don't do that because the other person's already got knocked off by there. But you're not going to know that if you're not observing. You're going to go there head first and try to hustle like you've known on the streets, or try to hustle like you were doing at your last camp, thinking that this institution might not have it figured out. And in reality, you don't know because you're new. You feel me? I'm telling you, this one right here was an awesome topic. I enjoyed speaking on it. I'm going to wrap this one on up, though. I appreciate y'all tuning in like I always said. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. If you ain't hit it on the way in, make sure you hit it on the way out. I'm going to go ahead and get what I got to do, you feel me, for this new year to come. I'm kind of excited. 2022 is right around the corner, y'all. Y'all already know, like I always said, man, make sure you keep them rat squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, want to be iron boys, people with pull outs that swear their perms, people that are clout chasers, ain't got no content. You keep them out your circle, man. Until next time, this the one and only Frog.